Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Talking with Bill Rancic from Giuliani and Bill. Season 6 premieres Tuesday, July 16th on Style Network. And you did another gutsy thing, man. You opened up a restaurant in Chicago. That's a good eating town, man. Yeah. So it's got to be good if you open up a restaurant. RPM?
RPM Italian. Well, now we have RPM Steak opening this fall.
Nice. Okay, a steakhouse Italian joint in Chicago. You better be up to snuff.
We got good partners.
Yeah.
I've got our partners. They've been in the business 40 years. They created Maggiano's. They created the Corner Bakeries, and it's the Melman, Rich Melman, and R.J. Melman, Jared Melman, and Molly. So it's a good family. They're a restaurant family, so we couldn't have picked better partners.
I got to check that out next time I'm there. Is it right in the heart of the city then?
Right in River. You walk there from Trump.
Oh, okay, great.
It's at Illinois and Dearborn.
Well, I watched the show, so Giuliana will not be cooking, I take it.
My wife was born in Italy.
Right, and everybody in her family looks like they can cook and eat, except for her.
It was a generational skipping trait. She can't cook to save her life.
Yeah, my fiance, God bless her, she's dealing with the shadow of my mother, who's like a typical Italian woman. I've never seen a person cook this good. It's just like extraordinary. So she's learning, though. She's getting there. But it might be good for me because, quite frankly, I got to drop about 200 before the wedding. But that's...
you can learn from your mom, though,
well,
right?
with that, does Giuliana deal with that? Like, are there good cooks in your family when she's got to deal with it?
Her mom is an amazing cook.
Right.
And her mom was really the one who kind of was the inspiration to start the restaurant. Because whenever her mom would come to visit us, we'd have all of our friends lined up out the door for her pasta. So it was like, okay, we got to do something with this.
Well, when she was in the hospital and she woke up, she said that she gave her something to drink, and then she goes, "I want my mom's pasta."
Yeah, I want
right?
my mom's pasta. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
That is great. You guys came through with that. That's a lot of strength. That's because I remember reading that in the paper. And when I was on the Stern Show, she called in once because we had the E! Show that she sort of followed.
That's right.
And she was a fan of the show. She was really nice. And I remember reading that, going, "Oh God, that's just. I hope it's all right." So it's great. You know?
knock on wood.
It is inspirational, And so what's like your future? I mean, you're a guy. I mean, were you a project manager on the Trump thing? Is that essentially what you did?
Well, I was what they call the owner's rep. That was the official title. But I mean, again, I was there to learn. You know, and I've always been an entrepreneur. I started a business right out of college.
Cigars.
A cigar company, and I've always been very
right. They talked about that on The Apprentice. Yeah. Cigars.
Some people start lemonade stands. My man starts a cigar store. I love it. I love it.
I was young and I was too dumb to fail. But so for me, I went in there and it was a opportunity of a lifetime.
Right.
It was literally like winning a lottery ticket. Not only did I learn a lot and get incredible business experience, but if it wasn't for that show, I wouldn't have met my wife.
Right.
Because she came out to interview me.
Well, of course, exactly. Yeah. And it's funny. It was hard because I like both of you guys. Kwame was the guy.
That's right. Yeah.
Do you still talk to him ever?
I don't. No. Yeah, I don't.
You ever hear what happened to him?
He's a Harvard guy. I mean, I'm sure he's doing well. He's very smart.
Yeah. You could tell he was going to do something. But it's funny. I almost think like you guys became sort of friendly. I don't know if you still talk to the guy because it really was. Do you remember that at all? How big that was?
That's huge.
It was for the first time in a long time.
I hate to say it, but I don't remember the ones that came after you. But I do remember the first season. The first season was indelible.
It's way successful, but that first season was the biggest.
Yeah, I think he's going to be on his 15th season of the show.
I mean, he's not going to say no. He loves it.
You think a guy like that is already rich and successful, and now he's got the holy grail of show business, which is television syndication.
Yeah.
That's, the holy grail is ownership of a show that you could syndicate throughout the world.
Well, and the brilliant thing about what Donald did with the show, he and Mark Burnett, is the product integration.
Right.
So, we're talking about highly profitable, which is everything Mr. Trump does and makes money. But when you look at TV models, like this show was a windfall because
because everything they're making money from every
they pay
stream.
Millions of dollars every time you do a challenge, and it's whatever the product is. Yeah. Guitar Center wants to come in.
Be a part of the show.
And that could almost be tip money compared to syndicating around the country and the world. Because there's a Bolivian Apprentice, right?
Right. Yeah, there is. There's one in China right now. I get tweets from all over the country from the different countries where it's
small world too.
Did you ever have guys who were on the show call you for advice? Did you ever have people give you a call?
I did. I had it was Scott Hamilton, the ice skater. He knew someone I knew, and he called me. He says, "I'm going on. What should I do?" I said, "Whatever you do, don't be the first project manager." Right.
Right.
I turned the show on.
Not the pretty good advice too, because you don't want that hassle right up front.
What does he do?
Oh yeah,
First project manager.
he did really, and he got axed.
He got smoked.
Wow.
Yeah, nice guy too.
Yeah, because you notice that in the worst is in that room, man, when it's his two kids looking at you too, because you're like, oh my God, here's a whole family of people who love saying you're fired.
Well, what a lot of people don't realize, I was able to become a judge on the following seasons, and he usually brings me back.
That's right. Yeah.
And those boardrooms last hours.
Really?
Right, they cut it down.
They last hours.
For a little bit of airtime.
It is vicious in there.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How about the idea for the last one of it being SNL Studio? That was when did you find out that was going to be the case?
It was probably the day before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they kept us in the dark. I mean, everything was very secretive. It was the first season, and it was such a monster hit. They didn't let anything get out. It was
right. That was impressive too. Like when that was a big reveal where you go, oh, how can TV surprise you anymore? And the fact that it was Saturday Night Live Studio was really cool.
Well, when the people got fired that season, they were all sequestered into a hotel room until taping was over.
Oh, so
because they
you
didn't
couldn't
want
see them
people to
out and
know
about.
what was going on.
Right.
And the first guy who got fired, I'll never forget this. He had his MBA and his MD. And he tested, we had to take all these tests. He tested in the genius category.
Right.
Well, he was sequestered for 10, 11 weeks.
A genius.
And he was from New York. And the hotel
What
they
a
put him in was
pain in
like,
the ass.
That's
3
gotta
blocks
kill
from
him,
his
yeah.
house.
Oh God!
So he got pretty upset,
Sure.
and he learned that he could sign anything he wanted to his room, and NBC was picking up the tab.
beautiful.
He had like a $47,000 incidental bill.
God
That's what they
bless
get.
him.
That's what they get.
He's a genius.
Imported wines coming from
Was there
France.
anybody in that cast, or we'll call it a cast? I'm obviously contestants that you couldn't stand.
Amorosa?
Omarosa was pretty rough.
She was the one that she lives up to that name.
It wasn't that I couldn't stand her. I mean, I got her number early on,
Right.
and she knew she was able to manipulate people. She didn't get to me, but I saw
obviously,
how she was,
right.
kind of the puppet master with some of the other people and really getting under their skin. And she wasn't there for the right reasons.
Right.
She was there to try to
promote herself.
Yeah, exactly. To get famous.
I mean, obviously it's an act, but do you think underneath that act that she could possibly be a good person? Because I don't see it in what I'm
She seems like
being
a pain in the
exposed
ass.
to.
Yeah.
It's too much.
And I feel
man.
bad for that Michael Clark Duncan. I feel she married a guy who,
Well, I think they were just engaged, but yeah.
Oh, they were engaged. I think she got involved with a guy who's famous for
herself.
being a good actor, and again, maybe a guy who's not used to getting famous, good-looking women, and I think he took advantage. She took advantage of him.
Yeah, and it's funny. I just watched Talladega Nights the other day, and I was
on
on
last
there
night.
and I thought about that. Yeah.
it's weird. So what's next for you? Like, I mean, again, you say you're an entrepreneur. The show, you got the restaurant. Is this enough for you right now? Are you looking forward to something else?
I did get bit by the TV bug a little bit, and I've been able to do a couple other shows. My wife and I hosted a dating reality show, which didn't go over that well for NBC, called Ready for Love.
You had successful books too, as well.
I've written 3
Beyond
books.
the Lemonade
Yeah,
Stand.
it was a book I
one?
wrote for kids, actually. To try to get kids working and
Is that
out
possibly
hustling.
something in the future?
Yeah, we'll probably, my wife and I like doing stuff together. So we wrote a book together called I Do Now What, which we'll give you as an engagement gift.
Oh, well, yeah, thank you. Absolutely.
Being engaged, you get advantages already being engaged.
I do now what? I need my diabetes medication. But those are short-term things. Like, is there a long-term career goal you think you have as a person?
Well, I do a lot in real estate, and that's, I think for me, that's the long-term plan. TV's great, but as we all know, it doesn't last forever.
Right.
And I think real estate is the long-term ticket where, it gives you the ability to do things and have some freedom. If you're a landlord like I am, you're able to, have some freedoms and you get that income coming in.
Right, that's good. Well, listen, I wish you the best, man.
Thank you for having me on. Really, appreciate it.
Come back, bring the wife, bring the missus.
She'd love to, yeah.
I'd love to talk to her. And again, Juliana and Bill premieres tomorrow night, July 16th, 8 p.m. The Style Network. It's the 6th season premiere, which again is a record for the Style Network. And of course, go to RPM Italian. I'm gonna.
Yeah, please.
What's the Illinois
and Dearborn, right in the heart of River North.
Walkable.
I want to say I know the owner, right?
Exactly. Walkable
Italian.
from arguably the best hotel I've ever stayed in. I'm not kidding. The Trump International in Chicago, which Bill can take some credit for. So thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks, Artie.
Appreciate it.
All the best,
Pleasure meeting you.
Bill.
Bill Rancic. And we'll be back with more of the Artie Lange Show after this.